This is the Nuclear Option Podcast with Chris and Aziza Butler, the podcast for those who dare to believe in the power of the nuclear family.
In a time when it's harder than ever to build a family, we want to encourage you to be proud of your family. Invest in your family because our families carry the most promising solutions for the problems in our world. Greetings. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Nuclear Option Podcast, where we discuss the politics, the practice, and the promise of family.
From our home to yours, we're inviting you into a conversation about the family, not just as a private institution, but as a public good.
Hey. Welcome, you guys. Come on in. Appreciate you guys joining us here again on the Nuclear Option Podcast. Hi, my love. How are you feeling today?
Quite, you know,
Words can't even explain it,
words
right?
cannot explain how frustrated I am. So I don't think this video is ever going to see the light of day, but if somehow you are looking at this video, you will see that it's really messed up. It's a terrible looking video. I'm not looking at you and the camera because the camera is actually over there and it's not working. So we're using another camera. That's a bad camera. Which these are the kind of things that make me really upset,
Right.
or at least frustrated. So I'm pretty frustrated. How are you?
I fully understand your frustration, and I know how hard you work to put all this to make it work, and it still did do it. But you know what? That's also like real life. That's like how it goes. Sometimes we,
Yes, it
we
is.
give it our best things, and we still have to keep going. So that's actually
So
why,
air is human.
yes,
To
exactly.
really mess something up, you need a computer.
Right. But that's why we want to encourage you guys. I'm sure, as you're just doing life and all that, sometimes it could just feel like life is not going the way it was supposed to go. And, but you're doing the right thing. You're on the right track. Keep on going, keep on doing it, and it'll all be well. So our
It
next
will all
episode,
be
love,
well.
is going to be okay.
It's gonna be great. But if you are watching this, you're probably not watching this. But if you are watching this, go ahead and subscribe to that YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And
Say
if
that 5
you
times.
are listening to this on a podcast platform, which is probably how you're getting this because the video doesn't exist, go ahead and like this, leave us a review on the platform, and share this episode or another episode that you like with friends and family. It really helps us out to spread the word.
Yes, I second that. Guys, this is like real life right here. I just want y'all to know, like, we're not like putting any kind of like airs on right now. This is very true, but we're making it through. This is great.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get started. So, as we do, we talk about first the politics
Yeah.
of the nuclear family.
So I nominated our politics conversation today. It was want to talk about quickly. There is an election on in about a week from today. Not about a week, exactly a week from today.
Yep.
People in the state of Virginia,
Beautiful state of Virginia.
where you went to college,
I did. University of Virginia. Wahoo, wah, wah, wah.
are going to vote. The folks in Virginia are going to vote, and they're going to elect a lot of folks. They're going to elect a new governor in the state of Virginia. Interesting Virginia place, the gubernatorial office is term limited, et cetera, et cetera. But you have in Virginia an election that is pitting Democrat former Representative Abigail Spanberger against the current Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears. I wanted to talk about this because I was reading an article. I'm actually not going to like say where the article was published or because
Right.
I'm gonna just because I'm gonna slightly disagree with the article,
And that's okay.
and that is okay.
hmm Give us your take on it.
I
Okay.
should
Reference the
reference the
article. I don't think
article.
so. I think
So
you have.
and I don't have because there are a number of articles. I've seen this like in a number of places where it's kind of like pitting these two sort of focuses of the campaign. Basically, the analysis is you have what did I say?
One candidate. You said it. Put in the campaign. It's two different campaigns. Two
It is
different
definitely two
candidates.
different campaigns.
Uh-huh.
Because if it was only one campaign, that would be much of a delay. But I guess in some way, like it's one campaign. You can say campaign to describe like the whole race or one individual candidate campaign. Anyway, the point is that the framing in this race that I've seen in a number of places is like You have Winsome Sears, who is basically the sort of like pro family, kind of like common sense cultural things. Like she doesn't she wants to protect the sanctity of bathrooms and not have student use facilities available, or at least have them regulated by biological sex, sort of the gender conversation or whatever. And so so you have Winsome Sears on this side, and then on the other side, it frames as like Abigail Spanberger is going to be the one focused on jobs, and because in Virginia there are a lot of government workers, and they've been laid off, and the government is currently shut down, and so it's this sort of like dichotomy where it's traditional values versus sort of like economic um compassion, if you will. And the reason I wanted to like talk about this is because I don't think it's quite fair to frame the conversation that way. Number one, I think both candidates would suggest that their positions are good for people, both their cultural positions, or social positions, and that the economic positions are good for people. But more than that, I think it reinforces this idea for families that you have to choose. Like when it comes to voting and elections and candidates, it's like, well, there's going to be somebody out there who's kind of like compassionate and thinking about like what's going to happen to families in an economically difficult situation. And then there's another candidate who is like worried about values and sort of traditional family structure, nuclear family, nuclear politics.
Right.
And that is I think that's a false dichotomy. Like that's a false choice. And really what we should be looking for and really pushing for are candidates who embody both of these things, right? Like they
Right.
care about family, they care about values. They're also filled with compassion. I think about how do we organize our economy in a way that
It
helps
strengthens those
people to
families.
prosper.
I totally agree with that. Really do. I mean, you said it, but I think is I think it's so important too because I didn't realize this honestly until you brought it up. Is that that's an example of how it's even training our perspective to see that like, yeah, you're either supportive of families um or you are just like, hey, like we're just you deal with the economy thing. But it really is one and the same. Like if you can support families and protect like their values and stuff, but also protect their like well being and their ability to flourish. So I think, yeah, I think it's important to not separate the two.
Yeah, and certainly like there can be debate. Like go for it. Like talk about like whether a more conservative sort of economic outlook is going to be better for families or something a little bit more progressive. Like have the debate, but I just don't like the framing of like one side of the aisle is concerned about
Right.
values and the other is concerned about sort of like material well-being.
Yeah.
Um, because they sort of reinforce each other really in my sort of politic and worldview. So this is not to endorse or even weigh in too heavily on the Virginia gubernatorial
No,
race.
like let's not do this more often, guys.
Yeah, if you're in
Let's do
Virginia,
better.
look up the candidates, vote for the candidate who you think is the best, but don't be forced by the media, I guess,
Right.
into
That's
thinking
good.
about it in an either
Dichotomy,
or
yeah.
sort of dichotomy, because candidates can be and should be concerned with values that support families as well as sort of like pro-family economic policy.
For sure.
Um,
I
so I
love
guess
it.
that's not what
Yes, and we're gonna just put a stick in that for the for the politics section.
yes,
Um, and thank you, love for sharing that. And now we're gonna just jump right into as we do, guys. We talk about the politics and talk about the practice of the nuclear family. So just something that we can give you guys that could be helpful as you're just doing this family thing.
because
Um,
we're all out here trying to figure it out.
we're all out here doing it. And so kudos to you guys. So let me just put another thing into your like um
Toolbox.
there you go, toolbox. That's a great one. I was
Yes.
thinking more opera or something, but that's not it. Yeah.
I
In your
thought Arsenal,
toolbox.
but Arsenal was a little violent for these days.
Well, we are the nuclear options. No, but yeah, another thing in your toolbox, and that is not afternoon, after dinner walks. I really, really like this, and I chose this because I love nature,
Yes, you
and I
do.
think it's so great. Anytime we can go outside and be outside is, like, so beautiful, even if it's cold or hot or rainy or whatever. It's like, this is just great to be outside, get that fresh air. Anyway, but
I
it's
love
also
Aziza, and I love her clothes.
oh, and that's so sweet. And so, and I appreciate every single time when you're like, "Yes, let's go ahead, guys. Let's put on our shoes," and you like, you know, force yourself to do these things with us. But no, it's so like taking a walk, first of all, just has so many benefits in general. Um, but then doing it together is, like, such a great time, like, you it's like this perfect time to just kinda unwind and decompress for the day as you get ready to just end the day. It's just a great time to just kinda connect, I think with especially with older kids, you're not as, as you're talking, you're not as, like, face to face,
Right.
which I think as kids get older, they just, they open up a little bit more as they're just walking side by side, they feel, like, a little bit more, I don't
Mhm.
know, whatever.
Yeah, as their
Excuse me, I had to
legs
stick in my
move,
throat. I
then their
apologize if I keep doing this.
as
Um,
their legs move, their mouths move.
there you go. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that's so true. And then I think it's such a one size fits all approach because everybody can participate. Even if we have like an arm baby, you can grab the
Stroller baby.
baby or a stroller or a toddler or even sometimes we've had like our the
Mhm.
grands over like grandma.
Get that
Um,
walking stick.
yes, my mom does not have a walking
There
ever.
is no
Yes, yeah,
shade in having a walking
that's
stick.
true. Exactly.
Whoever needs a walking stick, get your walking
I
stick
agree, yes, it's very
and
important,
walk.
don't fall.
Walking is most important,
I
and
just like
walking
to
without
imagine my mom
falling is
walking,
better.
"Yeah, go, go." But, you're right. So, yeah, but anyway, whatever age you are, like, it's so great, like, we had great grandma come with us on the walk, it
We
was
sure
wonderful.
did. My grandmother came with us on a walk.
Yeah, it was just great,
Um,
and I think it's just so good for everybody, and then even the younger ones, like, sometimes they like, some of the walking is just, like, exploring, so
mhm.
that's great. I saw this quote a long time ago, it said, "Nothing calms the child like being in nature," or something like that. I
Yeah.
think it's so true because, like, when the kids in the house are, like, jumping on the furniture and all this stuff, running around, literally, like, high speed races just back and forth. Who's watching? We'll just go from one back door of the house to the front door and just go back and forth. But then when they get outside, they get so much more calm. It's like, do that thing out here that you were doing inside of the house. But it is just a calming thing. And I think it's great before, like right after dinner, especially.
Yeah. Or after any meal. I mean, because there are, like, you know, physical health benefits.
Yeah.
It's better.
Right. It
We
prevents like diabetes and stuff because your blood sugar spikes
yeah, we
after you eat. So it's good to get moving. And kids, I think, naturally do that already. Like, if you sit too long after you eat, like 5 minutes after the meal, they're like ready to like run
yeah.
around and all that. So
And so even for the adults, it's very good for your health.
yes, it
Like,
is.
just if you just get 5 minutes of walking after a meal, the research does suggest that you're going to greatly decrease your risk of
Oh,
diabetes and heart disease as you go through your life. But it's also, like you were saying, like, all these, like, the connectivity stuff. And I think this is really important. Like, I will speak to on, like, families who are living in urban environments
mhm.
where you're not, like, you know, farming or anything like that. Just to get out and get a walk, especially those who, maybe you have more sedentary job, all these things. I have a sedentary job relative, except for if I'm speaking or something.
Right.
Um, but yeah, like there are the health benefits. And then the other thing I would say is, like, for the person who this might not sound like your bag, like I am, right? Like, I consider myself an avid indoorsman. Um,
Yes, he
I
does.
I love
You
to explore all
coined that
types of
term.
indoor environments. And sometimes it may be difficult to, like, get yourself up and out because it's like, who wants to go outside? It's bugs, it's cold, it's hot. It's very rarely perfect outside.
It's very rarely perfect. I think it's always perfect. The perfect rainy drizzle day. The
Much
perfectly cloudy
much
day.
easier to create perfection in controlled environment. But I promise you, like, once you get out there and, like, breathe some fresh
Yeah.
air and, like, walk with people who you love, even if you have
Mhm.
to chase some of the people you love,
Yeah. It's
um,
just like
so
birds
that they
that
don't,
up
like,
on that tree.
run into the street and stuff, it is like you can feel, like we were looking at some of the research before, and, before we recorded this, and it was talking about, like, mental health and all those types of
Oh,
things,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you definitely feel better, when you come back. And again, like, this doesn't have to be, like, a super long thing, like,
Right. It could
it's like
be
a
10 minutes. Yeah.
quick walk,
Mhm.
um,
But you'll probably once you get out there, you're like, "Let's go. Let's explore. Let's turn around, turn down that block. Come on back the other way." So it's been really good. Also, I wanted to say another thing I think that's really helpful about, just walking in the neighborhood is that I think it's really a great opportunity to, like, meet new neighbors,
Mhm.
who you may not have known before, or maybe them to even just interact with you a little bit, when you're your whole family. We met a new, like, homeschooling family as we were
We sure
walking. They, like,
did.
stopped us and everything. She, like, came across the street, it was great. She might be listening to the podcast now because I told her about the podcast, but, she lives right in our community. I was like, "Look at that." And so, it was great. We had a great time. Just great
We
time
also
spending.
saw a street fight.
Oh my gosh. You weren't supposed to bring.
But even if you see a
It
street
was
fight
not the
here and
same. Was
there,
it the same day? That
I
was
don't
I it could
maybe
have been actually, I don't know.
exciting things happen is the point when you
Yes.
walk. But I
You
will
never
also
know how it's
say
gonna go
we have come home safely, buddy and our family,
every
from every
single
walk.
time.
So
And I don't we don't know if it was a real street fight. Like, they seemed to be like, they were walking and they just started, like,
it was a
playing
real
around. It
street
was like
fight.
teenagers, and then they all walked away together, so and they seemed fine. Who knows what was going on, but even still,
Big,
it was
violent
just a good
gang
time.
fight.
All right. Lastly, we're going to explore the promise of family. So, in this section, we just like to highlight something where we see this thing called family just playing out as a public good in our society. Like,
We, pay less if you're married for insurance, at least driving insurance.
right, driver's insurance.
Uh, we won't talk about medical insurance right
Right.
now. Um,
That's not good for it.
this is
But
positive.
but
But
no, it
but
is
driving
that
insurance,
they did a full, like, comprehensive study about all the different, like, all the different types of people and how much they pay for insurance, and what they found is that married men and women, married
but
people,
mostly men. I mean,
yes,
married people in general, but if you're single and a man, be playing through the nose
literally.
regard.
But if you are a married man, you will benefit in your insurance premiums. So, no, but really it is, and the reason for that is because, um insurance is all about risk and statistics and all that stuff. So what they found is that the safest drivers and the people are less prone to, like, accidents or breaking laws and all this stuff are people who are men who are married and have a
And people.
family. And, yeah, people like
Women are safer drivers than men, according to the research in general.
and
But
probably it's true because you're
in
right. I'm a
general,
very safe driver, love.
but the and I mean, these insurance companies have vested interest in, like, doing this research and
Yes,
waiting on this stuff, and they do find, like, married drivers are less likely to drive recklessly, less likely to drive under the influence, they tend to follow traffic laws, more consistently, and
yep.
so the insurance cost goes down, um, but maybe, like, what's most compelling to me, and I would love to know, like, what you think about this, is, like, it's not so much like 'cause I'm a pastor. I'm not, like, saying, like, "Get married so that you can pay less for insurance."
Right.
Um,
That's definitely not the reason.
that's not a good
But
foundation.
when you decide to, and when you're saying yes to that wonderful covenant of marriage, just know you're gonna have better insurance.
And I think that, like, the insurance is sweet, like, to pay less, but I think
Principle of it.
the the influence more than the insurance is what's compelling because, like, the research suggests that, like, you're going to be more careful with
Just
yourself and
yeah,
others
yeah.
when you get married. So
And that's
it's
helpful to every single street in this country. That's a blessing to our roads. When you guys get married, you're a blessing to our road.
because it's just I think it brings you into, like, community, and you just have, like, a
Community and
consciousness
life, yeah.
of, like, a connectedness to this other person and
Yeah,
then this other group of people.
yeah.
It's like I said to you one time, I forget what was, the context, but I said to you, like, "If I ever die, it was not because I was not trying to stay alive."
Right, right.
Because it's like
Yeah,
because of
whenever we're all good.
right. But I'm saying, like, if when I die,
Yeah.
like, if something happens, like, whatever it was, you
Just know
can
I did
know
my
that, like,
best
I
to
was doing
stay
my best to
alive.
stay alive.
Right.
And it's like there's a consciousness there. Like, Paul talks about it, like, in the scripture, like, Paul is like, he's saying, like, like, "I desire to be away and at home with the
Yeah,
Lord." But, like, it's
better.
better for me to remain in the body because 'cause it'll accrue to your benefit.
Yeah,
And he's talking to the church, and I feel like it's that kinda thing. It's like
yeah.
even if I'm not, like, It's like, I'm a believer. I believe that when I die, it's gonna be glorious and beautiful.
Right.
But it's this idea that, like, there's like a real reason and a benefit to other people
For sure.
to try to not die, and so you just live a little bit safer. I
Yeah.
mean,
And
try
then I
not
would
to.
also say this is such a generalization. And I know some people probably listen like, I'm only a worse driver now that I'm more distracted in the car because I have the kids. But this is just what the research
The
says.
data, you might
Like
feel more
over
distracted, and that's what I think that's really a big important thing, and I just cut you off, I'm
No, no,
sorry
that's
for that.
fine. It's fine, love.
Because, like, you might feel like that, but the data suggests
Yeah. Oh, that you actually are doing better than you did when you were 18, 19, 20, 21. Well, we got married when 21. But whatever age you were before this, there was a benefit, it was it got better. Your driving record improves.
and that's the
So I
data.
think that's pretty cool.
If
I
you want
love that.
anybody that's an actuary.
Right. Well, guys, thank you all so much for joining us. Oh, also, in addition to subscribing and sharing with others who would benefit from just this talk about the nuclear family and how like it's the great hope for society. So like the nuclear option podcast, and share with somebody else. But then also, can you let us know maybe if you're watching this or hearing this somewhere, if there's a comment section, put in the comments what's the most interesting thing that's happened to you when you were on a family walk. I just want to hear it because we had some really wild stories
We've
like
had wonderful
the
things.
fight. We met a new friend, a new homeschooling friend, so that's cool. So let us know. We'd love to hear it. Tell other people about it.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and yeah,
once again, if you're watching on YouTube, do subscribe. Look at the other videos, they don't look like this one. If this is on YouTube, look at the other ones.
don't judge us, guys.
And if you're listening on a podcast platform, do give us a good rating, give us a great review,
To
and
get it
share it
out
with
to more
somebody else,
folks.
all right?
Yes.
So we, appreciate all of you for your, great, support, your
Yes.
diligence with us.
We appreciate you guys. All right. So just guys keep loving each other
Hold on to truth
and
and
harness
harness your
your
power.
power. Woohoo. See you guys next time. Thank you.